So that's it for Rex Ryan. It is a done deal. He is now the new head coach for the Buffalo Bills. I can't even talk. He is the 18th head coach in franchise history for the Bills. And good pickup by the Bills. Good pickup. Rex Ryan, prove me wrong. Get quarterback. Hopefully you can bring back the real E.J. Manuel and maybe bring back his career. That would be even better because then you don't even have to draft a quarterback in the first round, which then you can draft, Landry Collins, safety from Alabama. Get him. I don't know, some big defensive hitter out there. Get that defense hyped up and ready to go, and then start working on your offense. Maybe trade a couple running backs. C.J. Spiller, Fred Jackson, screw it. Trade them. Get one good running back in Melvin Gordon. I don't know. Then you could bring a lot of hype and say, hey, this was a really smart move for Rex Ryan. But anyways, let's move on. Last news before we talk about the NFL Divisional Playoffs and talking about the AFC Championship and NFC Championship. Sad news for the Seahawks. Rookie wide receiver Paul Richardson suffered a torn ACL in the team's divisional round playoff game Saturday night and will be, of course, out for the remainder of the playoffs. Richardson was their top draft pick for the Seahawks in 2014. He as a second-round draft choice out of Colorado. Started playing more once Percy Harvin got traded, and when Percy Harvin was even playing down. Didn't have a whole lot of, catches. I mean, he had 29 catches for 271 yards and a touchdown. But out of those 29, 13 of those catches were in the final 3 regular season games. And against the Panthers, he had 1 catch for 21 yards, which then tore his ACL. So I had a whole lot of hope and hype, I guess, for Paul Richardson because he's that speedy guy. I was watching Colorado during that season, and he was their go-to guy. He was so fast, and he was, getting those streak routes, and he was just catching them, burning defenders out the way. It looked like a smart choice. He did tear his ACL at Colorado back in 2012, but that was just something they threw in there. I don't think that's really going to affect him. I mean, it was 2 years later, so who cares? Because it didn't look like it affected him now. I mean, the speed of the game obviously picked up for him because he's not really burning defenders. He's not breaking through like they projected him to. But I think this is a good learning season for him as a rookie. Some rookie wide receivers are able to break through, like Sammy Watkins and Mike Evans, especially Odell Beckham Jr. I mean, those were all first-round top picks, but some of them like that are able to break out. Some wide receivers, their rookie season, they learn more than they actually make plays. And that could be better for the Seahawks. Maybe, all of this, he's learning the game, he's learning the speed of the game, how much faster he's got to be, how much quicker he's got to be. And maybe that makes him a better wide receiver down the line than other wide receivers. I'm trying to look at the positives in this because I like Paul Richardson, and I hope he becomes that speedy go-to wide receiver for Seattle that they never really had. But in his place will be another rookie wide receiver, Kevin Norwood, a 4th-round draft pick out of Alabama, who had 9 receptions for 102 yards this season. He was inactive for the game against the Panthers, I guess because of roster spots or whatever. I mean, it wasn't hurt or anything. But he will now take the place of Paul Richardson, and he's another solid wide receiver, I think, can make some plays. But that is it for – actually, no, that's not. I forgot. That was my ending to that part. But let's go ahead and go on to NFL Divisional Playoffs. Amazing games. First, we'll talk about the game that happened first. That was the Baltimore Ravens on the road in Foxborough against the New England Patriots. What a game this was. Joe Flacco throwing for 4 touchdowns, 292 yards. Justin Forsett also had a game, no touchdowns, but 129 yards, not so bad. They did a great job, Ravens defense, stopping the run against the Patriots. They had nothing going for them. Their leading rusher was Brandon Bolden, who they just picked up. 3 rushes, 7 yards. That is it. But the main killer for the Baltimore Ravens was not stopping the Gronkinator. Rob Gronkowski, 7 receptions, 108 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, he could have gone for more touchdowns. He was just dominating, picking up everything that was given to him. I mean, he was just taking it. Ravens did lead the time of possession, but doesn't matter. I mean, the Patriots are just there. They're a solid team. When you have Tom Brady, you know he's going to do his thing. He did make an interception, I believe, but he grew from that and did his thing. Did the Tom Brady usual, 367, 3 touchdowns, just like that. Patriots hold on to a 35-31, and it really looked like Ravens were taking it. 14-0, quick scores, just like that, and attacking the Patriots. And Patriots are just like, whoa, what's happening? This isn't the Ravens team. I mean, they were driving down the field, no issues. Patriots defense wasn't there. Darrell Reeves was getting picked on. It was just nothing was going Patriots' way, and then they slowly did their thing and came back and did the usual Patriots thing and ended up winning. Same old story with the Patriots. And then later that night, which I missed this game, I saw only part of it, and I heard majority of it, but it's not the same when you're just, I don't know. I wanted to watch this game. The Panthers at the Seattle Seahawks. That was the game I wanted to watch. Had to work that night. Sucked. And then we had issues at work, so we were there later. I basically missed the entire game. Until the end, but it was already put away because Cam Chancellor, he did his thing. And what a game for Cam Chancellor. Oh, should have had a block field goal. Should have had that one, but even if he did block it, I mean, because he was so close to it, I mean, barely missed him by his side. There was a flag, and that was ridiculous. That flags were going crazy on a field goal attempt. It went back, it went forward, it went back, and it was just finally just made it and said, all right, forget it. But Cam Chancellor had a heck of a game, laid the big hits, got a pick six, a 90-yard pick six. And Cam Newton, let's talk about the Panthers real quick. An amazing season for them. 7-8 in the regular season, and then just come back and do their thing. Or actually 7-7-1? That would 15. No, they were 7-8, right? Yeah, 7-8. And, people were saying, oh, this is why the NFL's got to change their playoff rules. How are you going to have a 7-8-1 team host an 11-win or whatever, 10-11 win or Cardinals team, Arizona Cardinals? Obviously, there was a reason because they were a champion and Cardinals, well, they didn't have a quarterback, but Panthers did their thing. They go on the road to play Seattle. Not a bad first quarter, holding them 7-0. Offense wasn't there, and I think the main thing was Cam Newton not experienced in the playoffs. Just was not there. You saw that he was shaky against the Cardinals, who have a solid defense, by the way. Shaky against them at home. I mean, that's even worse. Yes, you're going against a solid defense, but when you're terrible at home, how are you expected to play when you go on the road Saturday night in Seattle, whether it's already bad when it's during the day because the 12th man is crazy at any point, for the games. But when it's Saturday night prime time, the only night game for the Seahawks had, I believe, all year, their second one overall. They're going to be crazy. It's a playoff game, first one. They know they have a chance to repeat here. Cam Newton was just shaky, just looked bad all game long. I mean, passing completion, he's 23 of 36. Not too bad. 13 incompletions, but it was just, it looked like he was like more of 15 of 36. He just looked really bad. And I think it was just not because he's a good quarterback. He's a great quarterback. It's just lack of experience in the playoffs. And Seahawks have been there. They're more motivated than Cam Newton and the Panthers are. And it showed. He threw for 246 and 2 touchdowns. A couple of interceptions. That hurt. Jonathan Stewart did all right in his little reunion. 13 rushes, 70 yards, no touchdowns. Kelvin Benjamin, star in the making right there. 7 receptions, 75 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Russell Wilson did his thing, only throwing about 20-something passes. 268 yards, 3 touchdowns for Russell Wilson. They stopped Marshawn Lynch, though. No beast mode. 14 rushes, 59 yards, no touchdowns. But Jermaine Kearse was the star. 3 receptions, $129, and a touchdown. Amazing game for Jermaine Kearse and the Seattle Seahawks. They did their thing. Seahawks are, I honestly believe it is the Seattle Seahawks versus the Patriots in the Super Bowl. That is what I want to see. That is the Super Bowl I want to see. I don't want to see Seahawks Colts. I don't want to see the Colts. I'm surprised they even won. That would be a boring Super Bowl to me. I think I hope the Seahawks would just blow them out like they did against the Broncos. And I really don't want to see a Packers Patriots or Packers Colts game. That would be terrible. Packers Colts. That would be I'd be so bored with that game. I don't even know if I really would honestly watch it. I think I just watch highlights on SportsCenter the next day or something. I could not watch that. So I'm really hoping Seahawks Patriots. That is, we already see Manning versus the Seahawks defense. Let's see Brady versus that Seahawks defense. Just thinking about that gets me hyped up. That's what I want to see. But of course, the Seahawks go on to the NFC Championship game, which they will host Sunday. And this is real stupid with TV timing. They're putting the West Coast game 12 o'clock, West Coast time, which is okay for them, but it's an awkward time for Central time people. It's at 2 o'clock. It's really awkward. I mean, I'm still going to watch it. Great for me, but they really should have made the Seattle game at nighttime since it's West Coast. They can wait. And the Patriots, now that they won, they're the number 1 seed as well as the Seahawks. So Patriots will host. So that game's going to be at night. So, it's going to be even later for them, or about an hour late. But really, that I don't know. Small little thing, but really it should have just been switched. But anyways, next day, Sunday, yesterday, which was Cowboys at the Packers, and what an ending to that game. Now, quick question before we even talk about it. Were the Cowboys robbed? Not by the refs, of course. It's not the refs' fault, but were they robbed by the NFL, basically? Or was it karma? That's a huge thing. My cousin posted it on Facebook, and I was like, wow, that makes so much sense. Were they robbed by a dumb NFL rule, or was it just karma? Did karma come back because of what happened against the Detroit Lions? Al, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I do like the Cowboys. I was hoping Cowboys-Seahawks in the NFC Championship game. That was what I was wanting to see. Nothing against the Packers. I like Aaron Rodgers and all, but I don't know. I feel like Packers are always there, even though they're really not. I just feel like they're always there, and I don't want to see them. So it was crazy. It was a crazy game. Were the Cowboys robbed, or was it karma? Now, this rule will be changed and clarified more, even though I truly believe that was a catch for Dez Bryant. Yes, it was a little bit of movement, but he still maintained control. That's the whole point, right? I mean, it has to be completely tucked in, can't move at all. I mean, think about when running backs are running at a goal line situation. That ball moves, but they still hold on. Or when receivers are throwing, when it's a fade route, they kind of juggle the ball, but they still get 2 feet in. That's a touchdown, right? Why isn't this a touchdown? It's still, yes, it moved, but it wasn't like it popped out completely and he lost control. I mean, he had control the entire time. It wasn't like, I wouldn't say he wasn't struggling, because he kind of was, but he still held on. Still held on all the way through impact, all the way to the ground, and rolled over, whatever. That was a touchdown. I'm sorry. It was, but and for people that think still, I don't think there's that many people, but if there are any fans that think the referee screwed Cowboys, that's not how it was. It's not how it is at all. It's a bad rule, good call. We all remember back in 2010, Calvin Johnson. I can't believe it was 2010. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like it was just like last year or something. When it was the Lions at the Bears, Calvin Johnson catches the ball, but drops it, with his hand over the ball on the ground or whatever. I mean, he didn't drop it. I mean, he just whatever. I don't know. It was so stupid that it was not called a touchdown. Basically, that's the same exact rule that happened against Dez Bryant now, and Cowboys out. I mean, we can't necessarily say that if the Cowboys, if he would have caught it, let's say he's down at the 1, that's where the referee ruled him out. It wasn't a touchdown. I'm sorry if I said that. It was rolled down at the 1. And let's say DeMarco Murray, or it's a play action, whatever. It's another touchdown for the Cowboys. They go up 28-26. that doesn't guarantee them a victory over the Packers. Now, I know Cowboy fans, it hurts, but I'm just saying,